Today, was it today? Yes, it was today. Uh, there was an attack where the US and Israel and Iran attacked. There were a lot of attacks. Now, the United States and Israel have launched a major attack on the Islamic Republic of Iran, which President Donald Trump said would lay waste to the country's military, obliterate its military program, and could even topple its regime. There was this video on Truth Social. Trump accused Iran of rejecting every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions and said the US cannot take it anymore. Unlike the last time the US and Israel struck Iran last year, these strikes began in daylight on a Saturday morning, the first day of the week in Iran, as millions went to work and school, and whereas the US strikes in June were over within a few hours. Sources told that the US military is this time planning the several days of attacks. In response, the Iranian regime has launched an unprecedented wave of strikes across the Middle East, targeting several countries that host US military bases. Last time we heard from the beaches of Dubai to the streets of Doha. It welcomed the opening salvos of a war that threatens to engulf the region. Now, this extent of the damage in Iran and across the region is still emerging. Now, what do we have to know so far? The Iranian government has been under severe pressure since the turn of the year, already weakened by last summer's war with Israel, which the US briefly joined. The regime has been battling a severe economic crisis which sparked nationwide protests in January. After a crackdown left thousands of protesters dead, so Trump promised to come to their aid. He warned the US was locked and loaded to attack and began moving huge amounts of material to the region. Now, despite the building, the US also resumed efforts to reach a new nuclear deal with Iran. The last round of talks ended in Switzerland on a Thursday, with Iran agreeing never to stockpile enriched uranium. The Omani foreign minister, who has acted as mediator in the talks, said there have been significant progress. Now, why did they do that? That progress, however, was not enough to prevent the US from taking military action. The address at 2:30 a.m., Trump said the main objective of the operation, which the Department of Defense is calling Operation Epic Fury, is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. So, the president also repeated that what is it? So there we go. This is why US has been striking Iran. Oh yeah. The president has also repeated his recent claims that Iran is building ballistic missiles, which could reach the United States mainland. In his State of the Union address on Tuesday, or so too, Trump said Iran has already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and the bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the US of A. But these claims are not backed up by the intelligence of the US. So that is where, according to two sources, the claim that Iran will soon have a missile capable of hitting the US is not backed up by intelligence, and there is nothing to suggest that Iran is pursuing an ICBM program to hit the US at that time. Nothing. So why is Israel the one striking Iran? The Prime Minister of Israel has long viewed Iran as Israel's most dangerous adversary after crippling Iran's proxies, Hamas in Gaza or Palestine, and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel last summer launched a war against Iran. Although Israel entered the conflict after the US struck Iran's nuclear sites, analysts had long suspected that the Prime Minister of Israel would take an opportunity to resume attacks on Iran. With elections due in October, he may also see a return to war as a chance to show up his standing domestically. As in a video statement on a Saturday explaining why Israel was resuming its strikes on Iran, Netanyahu also repeated his claim that the Islamic regime must not be allowed to acquire a nuclear weapon. So, what has been it? These explosions were heard in Tehran's first district, where the highly secure compound housing the residence and office of Iran's supreme leader is located. The Iranian state-affiliated news outlet said several other cities were hit. In Tams, Keraj, Sarpats in Tehran, Qom, Isfahan, and Kermanshah. These two, the Iranian state media said top officials were safe, including Pezeshkian, but the target suggests that Israel is seeking to decapitate the Iranian leadership. So this is it on what we know about the U.S. Israel attacks on Israel. So we will absolutely be as we wait for the whatsoever who is winning.